Hello, hi, it's Liz here. Today I want to share the second chapter in our road trip travel journal. There's a video part 1 showing how I decorated the cover and prepared the pages for our trip, and there's part 2 when I described our trip and pages to Northumberland, to Bertram Cottage. So you could watch those 2 videos when I chat through those pages, but we are just back. Last week we spent, here's chapter 2, last week we spent a lovely week down in Wigtown, which is in Dumfries and Galloway area of Scotland. It's about 2 hours south from where we are. So this is my opening chapter page. The Little Cottage was the name of the cottage that we stayed in, although it wasn't really so little. Absolutely beautiful, very comfortable, and right in the centre of Wigtown, which is actually, and there's where we keep our map of the area. Wigtown is actually Scotland's national book town, so it's a quirky little town. The high street is full of bookshops, which you can see in this leaflet. There's the town square, and you can see the shops are mainly, there's a chemist, a pharmacy, and a co-op, and a pub and a restaurant, but apart from that, all the other little shops are bookshops, which some have coffee shops within them. So there's Bookend Studio, the Old Bank bookshop, Belty Books, lots. There's what's that one called? Feodals. So yeah, so we had a lovely time in the area, and I listed places to visit on this page. In the area there's Portpatrick, the Isle of Whithorn, Castle Douglas, Garliston, Wigtown High Street obviously, Newton Stewart and Kirkcudbright. So that was the places that we had planned to visit before we went. And these are the places to eat, which is the Harbour Inn, the Steam Packet Inn, Designs Cafe and Gallery, Cobwebs, Belty Books and Cafe Rendezvous were the places in particular that we wanted to go. So this is the Friday, this was the Friday the 2nd July, a week past Friday. Yeah, so on the way to Dumfries and Galloway, you pass through Prestwick, so we had lunch at Vic's. We go to Vic's quite a lot now and then. Prestwick is only about 45 minutes. It's at the coast down in Ayrshire. Plenty time, as you can't get into the cottage until 5 p.m. So at 5:20 we arrived at the cottage. We had stopped at Newton Stewart for supplies, unpacked and decided to have the chippy for tea. So we had fish suppers from the chip shop. Lucky we went, as the chippy was closed for the rest of the week. They were going their holidays, so it was because we had planned to have the chippy another night rather than the first night, so that was good. We saw the sign up when we went for a wander. So I've got some stickers. Let's go. We've got bags are packed, and we've arrived here, and some brown sticky paper, some washi tape. So happy trails. I've got little photographs printed using my Perry Page printer. Now you can see they're not, these just work Bluetooth off your phone. You can see it's not great quality, but it's enough as a little memory keep jog, and if I wanted a good picture I can always print it off using the big printer. So this was Saturday the 3rd of July, a bit dull and wet, but we headed to Portpatrick. Tables outside were wet, so we sat inside, not happy with the amount of people that were sitting close to us, so we decided to move outside because it had brightened up. We're not keen on being around a lot of people just now. Lovely lunch. I had the stew and the Yorkshire pudding, and hubby had the fish. And then back to Wigtown. And the market was open, only about 10 stalls, but nice to walk around. And also we spotted young deer in a field, which was lovely. So this is a postcard I bought, which was quite arty, Newton Stewart. And that just gives you some of the buildings. That's another town in the area. So time to explore Whithorn, Isle of Whithorn and Garliston. So they're all kind of in a triangle on the map. So we drove through Whithorn and we didn't stop because it was Sunday and everything was closed. At the Isle of Whithorn you can explore at St Ninian's Church, and on a clear day you can see the Isle of Man, which on another day we went down there and we did see the Isle of Man. Decided not to eat at the steam packet and we went to the Harbour Inn in Garliston instead. Rubbing shoulders with celebrities. So Martin Shaw, and I didn't even realise when he spoke to Millie, it was hubby who recognised him and told me once he left. So that's now what programme is Judge John somebody or other, and he was in a detective series as well. He's quite famous in Britain, so Sunday lunch lamb yum. So yes, rubbing shoulders with celebrities, and he spoke to the dog and I didn't even realise who he was. But once Willie had said, "Oh, do you know who that was?" And I'm like, "Oh right, yeah, I recognised him right enough." So nice to keep some receipts and print off some pictures as well. So off to Castle Douglas today. Lunch in the garden at Designs Cafe. So I had the quiche and Willie had the fish cakes, and the newsagent had a Daphne's Diary. For love nor money, you can't get hold of a Daphne's Diary magazine in Glasgow. You would have to do mail order, and I'm not all that keen. Comes from overseas. So it was the last one on the shelf and I snapped it up. So I've got a nice Daphne's Diary home with me. We used to get them here and I don't know what happened. They stopped stocking them in the newsagents and whatnot. Millie sitting out in the sun, sunbathing. Millie loves the sun. So this is the Tuesday, the 6th of July. Back to Port Patrick because it was an absolutely gorgeous day, so we had our lunch there. We bought some coasters and some placemats at the lifeboat shop, and back at Wigtown there's a fish and chip van. So the chippy shop was closed, but a van comes every Tuesday, and in the park beside the van is a little town square green, and everyone was sitting eating fish and chips on every bench. It was quite funny. So spotted red squirrels, oh they're so cute. We only get grey ones here, so to see the red squirrels was lovely. Wednesday, stayed local as we wanted to explore all the bookshops. So I bought, wait, I'll show you in a haul video another day, 2 bird books, a Shakespeare play and a cool kiddies book. So yeah, lunch at Belty Books, and this is the green. And we also walked down to the old church and we saw this on one of the monuments, and part of it says an earnest friend to the abstinence movement. And I just thought that was quite funny. It was all written out how he was a good friend, and I thought, a friend to the abstinence movement? I don't think that would be I don't think I would want him at any parties telling you to abstain. So the Bladnoch Inn was closed. That's what we had planned to do there. So we drove down to the steam packet, sat for a while in the sun and had a shandy, but they couldn't give us a table till 8 o'clock and we were too hungry for that. So we were back to Wigtown and Cobwebs. So we had our nice evening meal in Cobwebs and it was lovely. So this is another one of those postcards, and this is one of Wigtown, which is one of the streets, and you can see all the bookshops. So Thursday we decided because we were leaving on the Friday, and because of COVID, they want you out the cottages by 9 o'clock in the morning so that they can do a deep clean. So we decided, rather than rush, we would take our time and pack and leave today and go for a nice lunch and then just leave. So that's what we did. So we had our lunch round the corner from the cafe, round the corner from the cottage at Cafe Rendezvous. For the last few days, there was a group, well, 3 South Koreans making a documentary about Wigtown. So they were still filming in the bookshop opposite. We were sitting outside the table outside the cafe, and they waved over because the day before they filmed hubby and Millie, our greyhound, when they were lying in the grass in the park while I was in the bookshop. They were having a wee rest, and they filmed them lazing in the park, and so it was quite funny. And they filmed us in one of the bookshops as well. We kept coming across them. I think they thought we were local, but they were very friendly. So if anybody's ever in South Korea and they watch a documentary, they'll see us. Oh dear, quite funny. So, and this is a little doily that was on under one of the coffee cups in one of the coffee shops. And this, just to finish it off, is a leaflet about Wigtown and about the Wigtown martyrs, which were 2 women that wouldn't give up their religion many years ago, hundreds of years ago, and so they were tied to a stake in the river. And when it's a terrible story, when the tide came in, they drowned. So see, it's square, extends her olive wand, say fair, and blesses canny Wigtown. So that's the story of the martyrs in that in that leaflet. And obviously they have a book festival every year as well. So that's my 2 trips for this year, all recorded in the book. So if you want to see the other videos, I'll leave a link in the description of how I set out the book and why I decided to use one of these kinds of books. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed my rambles today, and if you liked the video, a thumbs up would be brilliant, and I'll take care and see you again next time. Bye for now.